Love that slow jazz. Welcome to Last Call, everyone. Joined once again by Chris, Mike, Hartley, and Maggie, talking about episode 16.
Whoa.
16.
We just
What a
can't
doozy.
seem to catch a break.
I know. I'm sorry for the listeners.
Chris, you gotta turn the CR down on all of your challenges.
We went into a magical fair.
We went into a magical fair.
Here's the thing.
And
Here was
every employee tried to catch us.
here was my mentality. Here's my mentality with this. I had a couple things prepared because I thought maybe you guys would approach this differently.
Yeah.
I kind of suspected you guys would want to escape,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't know whether or not you'd try and be stealthy or you try and just sprint out. Of course, if you guys had tried to sneak out, the DC for the stealth checks you were rolling would have been lower, but if you guys tried to sprint, they would have been higher. I thought about Darkness Minx.
Wow.
And my rationale was once you casted Darkness, all that stealth is gone.
Oh yeah,
Right?
it's a
That makes
big
sense.
it's a big pitch black, like can't
Yes.
see through.
Correct.
Like,
Massive.
It's my own tent of
We had the
things.
Las Vegas orb essentially making its way through the
Yeah.
through the circus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Minx really thinks that darkness works in a similar way to invisibility
And
in her mind.
Maybe at night.
At night, it's just like she's just like, this is my thing, and
Yeah.
this is what I can use,
Yeah.
and so I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it.
I
And
mean,
it's
Granted, it was arguably the better move.
I-
It did get us
yeah.
a good portion of the way.
what was a bad move was Clue deciding to turn around and try and help. If I had
Yeah.
gotten out of that tent, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have had
it
to
would
make
have been
those
possible,
rolls.
or
Yeah.
you might have just been able to get.
I was 30 feet away.
It could
Yeah.
have just been
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Fuck.
Well,
It's okay.
I mean, but then I feel like
Clue
they would,
wouldn't have-
they
he
would
would have
know
gone
that.
back.
Yeah, we could just be like, we don't know him. Ah.
Yeah.
It was a very tough encounter. Not saying that it was combat, but it was just an encounter in general where
Yeah.
you guys are trying to leave a magical place where everyone who is trying to find you has magical capabilities. There was a chance if you guys had rolled your stealth well and you had been stealthing from the start. I had things set up where if you guys wanted to stick together, it would have been a group stealth check. If you guys wanted to split up, you would have been rolling individual stealth checks as well. So there's a chance you guys would have gotten out. But again, once that darkness was formed, the employees were like, okay, we can't see what's going on there, but we can assume this is our
It's
person of
bad.
interest.
Yeah.
And there was the whole mechanics of them trying to lunge into the pit or the orb to try and grab you, which unfortunately didn't go your way at all.
Yeah, I think the odds were stacked against us in that one, but I think it made sense because I had
made
a
a bad
feeling.
choice.
Well, I had a feeling deep down that we didn't hurt anyone. We were kind of playing Easel's
Yeah.
game, and the worst that they would do is. I didn't think about mind wiping, but I feel like there was, we were going to be able to sort of talk to them a little bit and kind of figure out next steps. So
Yeah.
it didn't end horribly. I'm glad that you were able to retain
Yeah.
and honestly, I think that's fucking awesome that it was you that was able to withstand the wisdom check. So it's cool that information has stayed with you.
It exists at least within our party, which is
Yes, that I think
helpful.
that's super important. A little bummed that I think in the last call I spoke about doing a check to see if the voice I heard from the pond was the same voice that I heard when I received my shackles after dying. But I feel like now, since that memory has been ultimately wiped, even with Minx relaying the information of oh, actually this is what happened and your memory got wiped, I don't know what that sounds like
To
anymore.
recall
I
that in
I
any
can't
way.
recall her
Yeah.
voice, right? So it's so yeah, it's that's a moment that I won't be able to potentially do in terms of making a check to see if those voices match up. But really cool. I mean, ultimately, guys, the dice tell the story, and I think it's a lot
Speaking
of fun
of,
this way.
thank God I rolled some nat 20s
Yes, you did.
because
Congrats.
I have been rolling dog shit for the last 4 hours of campaign.
Yeah,
It's been awful, and I got myself back a few. And it's
yeah,
all
you doubled
because
down.
I stole a little bit of Chris's luck.
Yeah,
And also talking about the dice telling the story, Chris, it's not the dice telling the story because you can expect a 15 or above
Yeah.
every time you roll.
it's getting a little crazy.
It's
I'm scared of me.
he rolls with disadvantage and rolls a 16 and an 18. Who does that?
Well, but I think we kind of had all of our moments. You rolled 2 nat 20s, and on
Yeah.
top of that, for a second there, I thought
Yeah, I
all
was gonna
5
get-
of
I know.
those attacks
I was
you were
hoping.
going to dodge because you
Yeah.
were like, that was a good one, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So we're getting some better rolls into.
You're a sly motherfucker for casting hold person when I had taken the dodge action, completely rendering that moot.
Yeah.
Well, that was my plan all along. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are trying to escape. These employees aren't going to attack you and like
Yeah.
cause damage. They're just going to apprehend you because that's what they're instructed to
That's
do.
their job.
Yeah.
I will say, with one of those nat 20s, Hartley, and I'm going to give a big peek behind the screen as
Yeah,
well.
here we go.
You should be really happy that you rolled that nat 20 because that was the persuasion nat 20.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
their whole goal, even with that nat 20, their
Right.
goal was to always wipe down your memory because you guys saw them talking to this person in the pool,
Yes.
which the person said, no one can know
Yes.
that I am talking to you.
Yeah.
So again, that was always going to happen if you guys were apprehended.
Yeah.
With the persuasion, you were persuading them that you are not associated at all
Yeah.
with Ferret and Silverbeard because they found those 3 red coins, which you guys know
Yeah.
are associated with Ferret and Silverbeard. Those are his like insignias.
Yeah.
With a natural 20, not only did you persuade them that you're not part of it, but they were actually going to take something from you for causing such a disturbance in the
Okay.
Wandering Wonder. And I'll let you guys know what it was. So because you guys were little troublemakers, especially you, Dylan,
Yep.
not only were like you impersonating people, you trespassed, you
Yep.
eavesdropped,
Yep.
They're just going to take the robe, right?
they were going to take magical sources from you.
Fuck.
They would have drained your element orbs.
Ah.
That hurts Maggie the most, I think.
No, me too.
You
I wouldn't
too?
be able to cast
I
a
at least
spell.
have cantrips after that. But
What would
like,
they take from me?
your shovels.
Not my shovel.
I think
Not my mom.
Did they take his robe
the
away?
gold digger.
They definitely. We
Well, I
dropped
think
it on the ground.
You dropped it on the
Oh,
ground in
right,
the
right.
cavern.
We were like, sorry. We placed it down on the ground and like ran out.
Yeah. It's just the fact that they are a magical magical festival where
Yeah.
gold is not that much concern to them.
Yeah.
Even like them bringing out the meridian vial, being
Yeah.
like, oh, that's interesting, but then cast it aside.
Yeah.
But it's like,
They don't need
we
it.
run on magic.
Yeah.
We kind of need to punish you for what you guys have been up to. Let's take your magic. But with that nat 20 persuasion clue, they just like, you know what? Let's just let them go. Dylan, I think your punishment enough was paying 75 gold for a cloak that you used for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you know
That
that
looks good now.
it was worth.
Oh wait, no, you don't have it.
I
Sorry.
don't have it.
Yeah.
It was.
Should've just kept it.
It was a rental.
It was- yeah.
It was a rental. I mean, no, we dropped it. I mean, that made sense, right?
Yeah, of
we were
course.
like, maybe dropping the orb will kind of get them off our back,
Mm-hmm.
but
Of course, of course.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you guys are now leaving the Wandering Wonder. Any final thoughts about it? Because it's kind of been a little side quest.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, great job, Maggie, with like the fast thinking with the orb and just like sort of establishing like the escape plan with all 3 of us. That was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, darkness has never done me any favors in this campaign, and that's okay.
100% true.
But it's
Not a
like,
single one.
well, and I was really afraid of doing it, even leaving. But as soon as Chris was like, "And you're all up on a screen," I was like, "I have nothing to disguise my face. I have horns and hoofs. This is not
Yeah.
like."
Sorry, no. Keep going. Keep going.
No, and that was it. Like I was like, we are all very discernible faces,
Yeah.
every one of us,
Yeah, it
and
was a
that
good
is unfortunate. It's the only thing I had to do anything against that.
Yeah.
Maggie did something really cool in that session. I can't remember what it was, but both you and I were like, "That is so cool."
The
What was
force,
it?
the
I
telekinetic
think
thing.
it was the force shoving that.
Oh,
Yeah,
employee off.
you rolled a
I'm
nat 20 on that.
telekinetic.
You rolled a nat 20 on that?
No, they just failed their strength.
Yeah.
She rolled a 17 or
Oh,
something.
but you had it. Yeah, you had a big number, right? Yeah.
But
yeah.
Mike, that was a good turn.
Like a shove.
I love telekinetic.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
really
very,
fun
so,
thing.
so that is not an action or a spell.
No, it's just a feature that I have that I can do as a bonus action.
So as a bonus action, you can
Yeah,
just move
I can
things with your mind,
Yeah, it's a very low strength save.
but still, like that's
It's so like they could easily
Dope.
do it, but what's
Yeah.
nice and what I want to use it more for, which I think we talked about before, is just
Mhm.
like the idea of you guys also you can willingly fail it, so I could also pull you.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Like it's a
Cool.
lot of like it's like moving stuff around in
And it's
So
five.
cool. Yeah.
It's 5 feet, right?
5 feet. Yeah, so
Okay,
it's not,
cool.
but it's anything
Really
within
fun.
30 feet.
Right. So you can just like pull us 5 feet
Yeah,
forward or
to
something
get
like
you
that,
out of
or if
something.
like someone's about to like fall or
Yeah.
something, you can like whoop,
Yeah,
bring him back. That's awesome.
yeah. And
Is it a reaction?
That's very cool.
Bonus
no,
action.
it's a bonus action.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a wild.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was a crazy
But-
escape.
I was really afraid because my only other option was what I was thinking is if we were really trying to like get to Clue
Mm-hmm.
was leave the darkness behind and just like cast shatter in it. But I was like, I will murder somebody potentially, and
Cast
that's
shatter inside the orb.
Like where I left the darkness behind.
Like an explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's another, I think it's like 10 foot, 5 foot radius, something like that. And so
Yeah.
like anybody that was within that darkness basically would have been hit.
Yeah.
Or anybody that was jumping on
I think
us.
you guys were quite smart in that you were trying to escape
Yeah.
and you didn't cause like physical harm to
No.
any of the
No.
employees.
Yeah, I think that would have changed the conversation.
Absolutely.
I really avoided it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
what would have happened if we were to murder someone?
So on top of murdering someone and on top of them finding the red ferritin coins, the persuasion would have been with disadvantage and the
Yeah.
DC would have been way higher in trying to discern you from a bad person.
And we would have been an absolute threat and probably had to fight
Absolutely.
them.
I really didn't want, because I was thinking about damage stuff the entire time to kind of deter it, but like no,
Yeah.
between charming and just trying to hide,
Yep.
it's kind of all because they have so much fucking magic.
They do. Yeah,
Yeah.
They do. We really didn't stand a chance there.
Yeah.
It was either we actually somehow make it to the door with our luck.
Well, I was afraid we were just going to get stuck down in that tunnel. That was
Yeah.
my original fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the rationale was like with the 4 employees in the cavern,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, they can run, we'll catch up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
so many employees that can
Yeah.
try and apprehend
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, the moment the announcement went off, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But very cool world building, Chris. Very cool, like under I still like can't get over like the whole pond thing and how like under the pond. And I think in the last call you mentioned like if we stuck our faces through the pond, we could like potentially hear
So that
the,
was actually the conversation that we had off mic. But
yeah. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So I was talking about how when you guys eavesdropped into the conversation in the cavern,
Yeah.
there was a number of ways you could have done it. Because I know I established there was a pond in the middle, and you guys learned that the cavern was hidden underneath the pond.
Yep.
If you guys had decided to go swimming inside in the pond, you would have maybe come across a minor illusion of the bottom of a pond, but it was actually the glass ceiling.
Right.
So there's
Cool.
a chance you guys could have overlooked the meeting that was taking place.
Yeah.
You probably would have been spotted as well
Yeah.
from the pond, but there was a couple options you guys could have. Like if Dillan had found like the secret tunnel, but Minx was like
Right.
overlooking
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
There was a number of different things you guys could have done once the escape started.
Ocean's 11
Still
style.
sick.
Oh, yeah.
Pond's 11.
Pond's 11.
That's funny.
Very cool. And then so the memories being wiped. That was
Yes, everyone
upsetting.
but Minx. And Minx, like you with that
Yeah.
Yeah.
really good wisdom throw, you kind of got a helping hand from
Something.
whatever this is.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what. I feel like you know what it is, right? You know the voice.
No.
Oh wait, you don't know what the voice
I don't
is?
know.
Oh.
And yeah.
I feel like there was a couple episodes ago there was a time where like you
It
were
was
like really it was
encouraging.
encouraging.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm wondering and like you liked that.
Yeah. There's aspects about that voice that like
Mm-hmm.
I'm so curious. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's
Building theories around it.
yeah, and thoughts. I should talk to Chris about this actually. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like-
it's both intimidating but also very there's a lot of comfort in it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've got a
but
lot of
Dylan-
stuff that is like creeping on
You
both
got
of your
another
characters.
chain. What the fuck is
The
that?
chain.
I did. I don't know. I didn't know it updates. I didn't know it's. I don't know what's
like,
the thing. Is
it's
it
like Clue's
is it-
necklace, like it's your Pandora bracelet.
Yeah,
you
That's
know?
his
like
Pandora
it's
blade. Yeah.
That's what it is.
My whole goal for this campaign is just to get everyone glammed
the-
up by the end
it's
of
the
it.
That's
really
October
funny.
line. It's the October line, spooky version.
Fuck yeah.
What can you just give me a visual description as to what it looks like and what the update did version looks like?
Yeah, for sure. So
It's going up his arm.
it
Is
is
it like-
it is
is it like-
snaking up your arm.
Is it like the BioShock tattoo? I don't know if you guys ever played BioShock, but there's
Yeah.
like the chain link tattoo that
Yeah.
he has on. It's like just 3 little links.
No, I think so. It's a shackle around the wrist.
The entire
and now
okay.
you've got
and
one
now you got a
loop.
one chain loop on
Oh,
either
that's
of
going
your
up
forearms
your
that are
arm.
snaking up your forearm.
Oh, so it's going
You're getting the
towards
sleeve.
towards
your
my
heart.
bod.
Yeah.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
this like one of those spider bites that if it bites you and then it makes its way up, like you can see the path it takes up the vein, and if it gets to your heart, you can die?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Boy, what a dark
Yeah.
dark tale for old little happy Dylan, huh? Wow. Okay.
Very scary.
very scary indeed. So, but we're out of the wander.
We're out of
We're
the
wandering
wonder.
out of the wander, which is great.
Taylor, we're gonna watch
Um,
it puff away like a pumpkin at midnight. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I will say this. I think we did talk about this after the previous session,
Mm-hmm.
just before we finished this. And Chris, this is actually the meeting that we had without you. When I don't know if you remember, I told you to go to my room and just wait there. And we all had a little discussion about it because I kind of wanted to throw this at Chris for a loop. Mm-hmm. Since we left so amicably, I don't think that's going to happen. It's not going to happen. But my move was, if we manage, and even like it applies to this, if we manage to get out of there and miss everything, Dillan's first move would have been taking out all of the pegs in the small tent and trying to crush the Wandering Wonder. And I want to know now, Chris,
what would have happened
if I did that? What would you allow? Would you allow it? 2, if it did collapse, what would happen to an entire stadium? What would people come flying out from the main entrance? What would you do?
Yeah.
So would that throw you for a loop, or were you expecting some fuckery of this kind?
I'm always prepared for fuckery, especially from you, Michael.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There are employees outside, like in the field.
Yes.
So they probably would have noticed you trying to rip out the tent pegs.
For sure.
And second of all, these are not just normal tent pegs.
Of course.
Because this isn't just a normal tent.
Okay.
Just a simple strength check might have been tough for you.
For sure. But in a magical world where Minx, Grub, Maggie, Clue, and Dax all get around the tent, and we succeed in an amazing strength check above all, and we get it done in time, and all the pegs come out at once, what would happen?
In a hypothetical world,
yes.
If you had been able to bypass this pure strength it would take to rip the peg out, as well as dispelling the magic that this tent is
I just
held
want to
in
know
place.
what would happen.
Calamity.
A black hole.
Yeah, I feel like you'd kill several hundred people.
Yeah, what I envision would be
criminals.
like everyone flying out the front door, like bazooka launch,
button,
like an eject, like everyone that's left, and then some, and the water, the pond, everything just flying out of the tent.
Not necessarily saying there'd be like explosions, but like you were like, if you imagine the Wandering Wonder as like a small world inside this like smaller tent,
you're collapsing a world.
You are well, not even collapsing. You are like making one part of this tent vulnerable. So like the floor would just like start to like move, like things would start sliding around. It's essentially would be like an earthquake happening inside this tent.
Yeah,
Very
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, so you guys have left the Wandering Wonder and are now making your way back to the capital, presumably.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, we have a week and some change, right? We have 10 days till it's still the same day, I'm assuming, since it was
is still
3
the
episodes
8th
ago.
day of your journey, correct?
We even slept.
No,
Yeah.
we have
And
10
we need
days.
to.
We have 10 days to get to the top
Tippy top.
the top of the mountain. Chris, what's the hike from Clangan in Space to the top of Mount Moradin?
It's not small.
Yeah.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
We got 2 days. We got 2 days to get to the top of the mountain because it's a 7-day travel and then to the top of the mountain. Okay. Well, anyway. Exciting. We're going to figure it out on the next episode.
Yep.
Yes, we are. So I guess we will conclude the last call. Once again, joined by Chris, Mike, Hartley, and Maggie. We will see you next time on Trouble at the Tavern. Thank you so much for listening. Take it away with the slow jazz.
Jazz.